Hi, good morning. You will have seen from the thumbnail what we're looking at, and it is doll's house furniture again, vintage 1/16 scale doll's house furniture. Now, I think I'm becoming a bit obsessed, but I've been able to get some really good deals on Vinted, some really good deals on eBay as well. And what set me off with some of these is I'm going to do a future video regarding tiny TVs. My husband thinks I've gone mad because I've got a line of little TVs up there. And in these packages, there's also some little TVs. So I actually bought the packages for the TVs, but the price I paid was still worth it because I got all the furniture, and one of them, I've not opened it yet at all. I can't wait to get in that one. We're going to be opening that together. But basically, I've got some bits here. I've got some bits here. And then I can't even pick them up. There is more parcels here. And some of these particularly, it's got little tiny bits of food on that. I'm really excited about getting these. I'll pop those down. Love the idea of these. These are Lumbee, a little bit more modern. But it's a full bathroom set that I've got. How cute is that? And that was a Vinted buy. So they were all a good bargain. I always do like to get a bargain. So I'm always cross-referencing, checking different sites, see what the prices are to make sure that I do get a good deal. With Vinted, quite often, because I'm selling a few bits and pieces as well, whatever I sell, then I think, well, if I want to buy it myself, I can. So it's not coming out of our money in general. So we're going to go top down and have a look at these. I'm sure some of you have got some. And yes, I will get the houses done. We have so much furniture now. I could probably get them all furnished nicely. And televisions, as I said, the little TVs I've got. My husband says, how many do you need? Because I think I've got 8 at the moment. I've got another one en route. But I wanted to show you all the different ones. I've also got a TV repair to do as well. So that's another thing. So yeah, but I've got enough houses. They can have a TV in the bedroom, can't they? They don't have to have just one. If perhaps they're slightly richer, they can have a couple. Although some of my older houses, in theory, they shouldn't have a TV at all. But we'll do that in a later video anyway. So let's go top down and have a little rummage at what I've got, because this is a bumper buy this time. So let's go top down. If you enjoy the channel, don't forget to please like, subscribe and share, and let's get going. Wow, this is quite the bundle. As I mentioned, some are Vinted, some are eBay. I think that was the eBay one. This is the with Vinted one. These were Vinted. And this little girl hiding in the middle is actually one of mine. I was sorting out some of my doll's house things that I didn't want anymore. And I'm not that keen on some of the... if you collected dolls and doll's houses, you'll know the Doll's House Emporium. There was a lot of Victorian looking dolls. And they're okay, but it was never my thing. That's why I went then for the Harry dolls with these vintage houses. I've got Sylvanians. But while I was rummaging through, I had been given a few by my aunt, and I found this one, and I'm like, hang on a minute. That is not just a basic Doll's House Emporium. This is a little Heidi Ott. Again, if you know the company, Heidi Ott, you know they're slightly more expensive because the detail in them is absolutely beautiful. And you know, I absolutely love her. I might have to consider looking. Like I said, they're not cheap. That is the only thing. But it'd have to be sort of a treat. But she could do with a little family, couldn't she? Because she fits perfectly for this scale. So I think she's lovely. So I'm keeping her. The others are going. In fact, some of them are already gone. But I've got to keep her. Apart from the fact she was a gift from a family member, and I think she is so lovely, super pretty. So she is going to be going in one of the houses that one day I'll get finished. I promise. You will see a house. I know I did one last year, but it's taking me that long just to get through them. I'm going to stop buying them and start working on them. So I'm going to pop her to one side because I don't want her to get damaged. So she's over there. But this is the Vinted and the eBay find. I think I will separate them up. All the ones that are packaged like this were from one person, and that was a Vinted. Now you're gonna ask me how much. I've absolutely no idea, but I know I won't have paid. I've never paid more than £20, for example, for a batch like this. So I know I won't have paid much, but there's a TV in there, and this is an eBay one, and I think I picked this one also. It's a little bit more basic furniture, but for some reason I think there's a TV in there. I've not even opened it yet. That was the theory. I was looking for tiny TVs and these came up. And then this one, this is a Vinted, and this isn't what I was planning on getting. I've seen them before, absolutely loved them, but they were always like in that avocado green, which was very 70s, which this is probably from anyway. But when I saw the pretty pink of this, I had to have it. And just look at this detail. We've got a little toilet roll there, and we've got proper little seats here. Even down to this, look at this. We've got a little toilet brush sort of clicked in there. And then we have the sink. I mean, again, this shows it's more modern. We've got an electric razor there, but look at this detail. How cute is that? Now, there's little holes I've noticed, and I don't know whether that could be for lighting, you know, because a lot of the Lumbee things are lit up. I'm a bit rubbish at sorting lighting out, so it's not something I've really done. But I noticed everything was there. The taps were there, because that's quite often broken off. Everything's nice with the sink. We've got the little doors. You can feel it's a more modern plastic. You can sort of hear it there in pictures from the camera there. And then there was also the little bath with a shower. Now, I'm not quite sure where that bit, surely it's got to fit. Does it fit anywhere? I don't know. I'm not sure. I would have thought that went up there, but that doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. We've got a little soap dish, and I just loved the tiles. They were just perfect. And if you sort of fit them in the doll's house, depending when you are, where they are, you've got a perfect bathroom. And it's nice to get all 3 items for a bathroom. Sometimes you'll find bathrooms, but then you can't find matching toilets, or you'll find a toilet, but then you can't find the matching bath, things like that. So it was actually really nice to get the whole thing. And I love this, how we can pop things on the shelf. Now, I don't know whose it's going in, but it's got to be something pretty special, this one, because this is probably the poshest bathroom, for want of a better word, that I've got. My others are sort of like separate pieces and older, but I just thought this was really nice. Like I said, very 70s. I do have a house that is more 70s, but that needs a lot of work, but I could still save it for it. So I paid, off the top of my head, £14 for this. Super good price. It was definitely under 20 anyway, because I said I don't I'm a bit stingy. I won't pay above a certain amount. So that is an amazing bathroom set. Love it so much. Right, we'll do the basic one, which is the eBay one. As you can see, there's a lot of brown furniture in here. I suspect we're looking at a lot of Lumbee, a lot of Barton Lumbee. I still get confused with all these names because they seem to cross over something terrible. But yeah, there is a TV. I knew there was. Look at that. They're just so funny, some of these televisions. And some of them are a bit tatty. Like I say, I'm going to be doing some repairs on some of my others. That's not bad. I think it just needs a clean. I could possibly get another piece printed up, but I don't think I want to do too much with it. So that's another TV, but I'm not showing you much because that's going in the TV collection. So we have some cupboards. I think there's a drawer there. This is definitely a little bit more basic, but it does sort of feel, the drawer keeps falling out. It feels Lumbee, if you know what I mean. Or definitely if that era, they're saying that, I don't know. Lumbee's usually a little bit neater, so it could be a cheaper range. Little fireplace. I've had one of these before. I think they're really nice. I don't know why there's so much glue around there, but that I perhaps can clean up. But it's a nice 1/16 scale, which is, all these are for 1/16, which is great. We have a little clock. Again, very basic little clock. Nothing too exciting, but it's still lovely. It will set a scene. Again, a little bit of a clean, but that's more than great. We have a broken leg from something. I had a feeling when I bought it there was a broken leg, so that's fine. Let's see if it will go on nicely, because sometimes where the break is, it will just, yeah, that'll glue on, and you're not going to know any different when it's done. So there's a set of 3, 4. No, there is a set of 4 chairs. We have a, oh, that's nice. It's like a little bookcase. Don't know whether it will open. Does it open? It's got a little bit of perspex there. And we've got some little faux books there, which is quite nice. Always good to have those for doing displays, you know, and sort of setting the scene in your doll's houses. The perspex has gone a bit, don't know whether that'll clean up. We can have a play with that. Might even paint it yet, but that's quite good. Oh, not the perspex, the wood bit. We have a table to go with our little chairs. Very similar legs to the TV. So again, there's no markings on anything, but it was clearly a range. It was probably bought as a set. And we have a funny little carpet. Oh, it is red. I thought that was going to be the back of the carpet. I don't know. Do you think there was a pattern on that? I think perhaps there has been some sort of design on it, because the back is definitely the back, and you can see it's sort of coming off a bit. But rugs, love rugs, because I prefer to sort of make the floors solid floors, so it's like either wood or tiles or something like that. So I like to put a rug on them. So that was the cheap lot that I got from eBay. Now this next lot is a better quality lot. There's nothing wrong with these. They are great, perfect for setting scenes, putting details in, and great if I want to paint them or sand them or things like that. So they're good. But this lot, I actually took it out of the box, but I've not taken it out beyond that. Again, there should be a TV in here, I think. I don't know if it was a TV or a clock that I wanted to get it for. That's the problem. People sell them as job lots, and I'm like, I only want that. But as long as they're cheap enough, I don't mind. So we have some more furniture, which the chairs are very similar. Oh, these are really chunky chairs. And there's a little pot in there. What's the little pot doing in there? This is where we have a fight with the bubble wrap. And perhaps, I should have had my scissors with me. I mean, it's great that they've wrapped them up so well, because that is a problem. I know when I do stuff myself. These are proper little chunky chairs, aren't they? They're nice and solid. Again, what are we looking at? I don't know. It's definitely that scale, the 1/16 scale. But I think they feel, if you look at these, they're nicely made. That's the one with the leg, bless it. But not quite as well made as this one. So you can sort of see that it's a slight difference. But I have enough houses to have lots of furniture in. So that is all good. And there's a little tiny jug. I don't know why the tiny jug is in there, but it is. Right, next one. Oh no, I'm going to say that till last. I'm excited to get into that one. What we got in here. There's the TV. Now, this one definitely needs some TLC. The wood's okay, but you can see this has got quite badly scratched. But again, we're not going into details, because that is the thing I'm going to be looking at on a different video. This is what I love. All this for one of these and the TV. Look at that. That's so cute. It's a little tiny clock, little mantle clock, which I think is really nice. In fact, we've got a mantelpiece there, haven't we? There we go. Little mantle clock. It's all very sort of 1950s, would you say? I think so. And we have another grandfather clock. Now, again, you can sort of see the slight difference, but I don't know. It's sort of quite cool that this is more naively made, because it sort of works for different types of houses. So they're both quite nice. I do like both of those, so they will both get used. Now, what's in this one? Oh, one of them's just rolled away. I mean, the buyer, like I say, I bought this off, and thank you so much for wrapping it so well, because they are delicate. I mean, I knew that leg was off that one, but it's so easy for it to get knocked. We have a side cupboard. That's quite big though, isn't it, for 1/16? But again, looks very lumbyish. Again, when I was mentioning, you know, when I said look at that one, you can see how this perhaps hasn't joined. But again, we've got two different eras here, haven't we? I would say these are sort of, I don't know, leaning towards 60s, whereas these are leaning towards 40s. Could be wrong. I'm certainly not an expert on things like that. I'd like to learn more, but it's really hard to find anywhere to learn it. Oh, this is nice. This is a little sofa. I mean, I've seen all these on the site, because obviously they took photos, but it's nice to see them in the flesh, and the colour schemes. We've got a little bit of pulling away there. Can you see? That's an easy repair. These are usually just the wood like this, and then they just cover it in a bit of fabric. But I like the fabric on this one. I like all that, and it will wash up well, because I've done that. You can see there's a little like brown mark here, because they are all nailed together. I love how it's all nailed. I mean, they won't be allowed to sell these things nowadays with all the nails in, but they're usually nailed together, and you can see probably it's got wet or something. The nail's gone a little bit rusty there, but I think it will clean up. I might have to be careful if I can sort of sneak some glue down there, and then try and push that fabric back inside, and bring that together, because I do like that. I think that one will work nicely. So what we got now, this is such a big bundle. I think it's probably one of the biggest I've bought. I've decided to ban myself for a little bit, and I need to concentrate on buying wallpapers and paints and things to do the houses up. Oh, look at this. This is nice. This is a little dressing table, and the mirror will flash in the camera, so that's why I put my hands on it. And I don't know, is this original or has somebody made this? It's very cute. It's a little bit, oh no, I was going to say the mirror's loose, but it's not. Look, it's on pivots. The detail on that. We have a name. We have Doll Toy. Now, I've seen a lot of doll toy, so I suspect this set from this lady, these were all doll toy. Although the wood, that wood, oh, not one over, looks very much like this sort of wood, because that can sort of indicate where it's coming from, the colour of the wood. Needs a little bit of tightening up, because it's only a bit of cotton. That's easy enough to tighten up. I might even take that off, wash it, and then re-put it back on. I like that. That's really nice. So now we come to what I'm hoping are going to be my favourite bits. I'm sure they are. We have a little table. I love bits and pieces, because that's something where I go wrong. I have a tendency to buy lots of furniture, but it's putting that bowl on a table. It's putting that little towel to one side. It's all those things that make your doll's house look cosy. And I love it when people do that. And this is what this will do. Look at this. Oh, look, somebody's even done a tiny, tiny little bit of cross stitch. How nice is that? That's lovely. You know, that's something, because I'm saying that, my list's getting so long at the minute. I am planning on doing some cross stitch stuff for the doll's house, and I was going to show you the things I did for the cross stitch magazine for the doll's house. But that'd be a really cute little project, wouldn't it? You could make a set of table mats, maybe a centre one or something like that. I really like that. We have a little brush, and that's really soft. It's a little hairbrush. I think that should go on there, little hairbrush. We have a little loaf of bread, which is a little bit more modern, but how nice is that? It's beautifully put together. We have, oh, what? Well, I'm not quite sure what that is that you'd be eating. There's a great big green leaf. Perhaps a piece of ham, or I don't know what the pink bit is. Anybody got any ideas? I've absolutely no idea. And then, oh, this is fine. Now, this is a really fine piece of ceramics. You can feel, because it's really lightweight, a little bit of gold detail there. That is lovely. And I don't know whether, oh, don't drop it. And then I've got this little mug. Now, this little mug feels like it might be metal. But look how tiny that is. Oh, I don't want to blur the camera too much. That is really nice. So, what a lovely setup. I love that idea. That is something I might put to one side, because I think I want to make some of those. So I'm going to get them off, because just checking the table. Oh, it is solid. It just makes out, can you see, as if it's going to be like a drop leaf table. But obviously it's not. It's solid wood. But that is gorgeous. Bit of sanding. It's weird. Sometimes it's like, should you sand it? Should you clean it up, bring it back to its original? Or should you leave it with these bits on? Because if it was in a real house, it would possibly be like that. I know I've got a table that needs doing that's a bit like that at the moment. But yeah, so love that. I think, I don't know, favourite bit. I quite like the dressing table, but I do like this a lot. And then we have tiny parcel. I can't believe how well they've wrapped this up. They must have took them ages just to wrap it all up. And we have some little books by the look of it. Again, perfect for scene setting. Let's get them all out. Don't know how old they are. Don't know whether they fit with the vintage. Oh, what we got? Learning French. What we got here? Now that one's just a solid like block one. This is one where it's got a little bit of paper in it. It's more like a little notebook. It doesn't say anything on it, but that's cute. And then this is another block one. Where is it? Yes, it's a block one. And I've absolutely no idea what that is. It looks like there's some people playing a piano. So, oh, hang on, there is some right. Tales and rhymes from something. So it's like a maybe music type book. And we got another one of those little things. So I'm over the moon with all of it. Apart from the fact, like I said, the bizarre thing is I was actually buying them for TVs or televisions. I shouldn't keep saying TVs, people, because if you can't, you know, if you mishear me, you're going, what's she on about? Televisions through the eras, the early televisions, things like that. The TVs I've got go from early times up to about the 70s. I've not done any modern ones, but I think it was just the doll's house era. So this is amazing. Absolutely love it. I am so happy with all of it. I'm just not allowed to buy anything for what shall I tell myself? Until I've decorated at least one house. That has to be the thing now, doesn't it? I have to not do it until I've got at least one. And I'm going to start with that little open box one that I've got. If you've not seen that, I'll pop a link on for it, because that's going to be probably the easiest one to start with, because there's not a lot of work once doing on it. But this furniture won't fit in it because it's even smaller. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed watching that. Again, please pop some comments. Please have a chat. Let me know if you actually know more details, because I'm always hungry for information, because sometimes I do struggle. Sometimes I found things. Like I say, I know these are Lumbee, for example, so nearer the 70s. I don't really know much about the rest, apart from one did say doll toy, didn't it? Sometimes these have something written on the back. No, it's nothing written on the back. Again, some lovely nails in the bottom holding it together. Just makes me laugh. I'd like to think children weren't having injuries then, but the difference in toy making. I like the naivety of this though. It's just perfect. So I think my little houses are going to be very happy with this. I have now a couple of boxes, which I need to get them in the houses because they take up space just like this. So I'm going to shut up now. Thank you again for watching. Please like, subscribe and share, and don't forget to put me a little comment and I'll get back to you. And please, any information is always wonderful. So I'll see you all later, and bye bye for now.